The Christians were sending their preachers among the tribes of the Mongol, hoping that to convert them to Christianity, whereas most of the Mongol at that time had no any religion. Therefore, the Christians found the opportunity to convert as many Mongol as possible to Christianity. Wagu the tyrant paved the way to Christians because of his Christian wife Zafar Khatun. Once Al-Hafiz Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani rahmahullah alayhi said, a group of senior Christians went to attend an enormous ceremony to evangelize one of the Mongol princes. One of the Christian preachers started to disrespect the Prophet, peace be upon him. There was tied a hunting dog. When that vindictive Christian preacher was talking disrespectful about the Prophet, peace be upon him, the dog growled, jumped over him, and then bounced the crusader and injured him with wounds. After the great effort, some of the audiences released him from the dog. Some from them said to the crusader, "The dog was very angry and attacked you to avenge because of your words about Muhammad, peace be upon him." The crusader did not feel embarrassment and showed his pride and did not acknowledge the truth and said, "That's wrong. This dog is proudy, and when it saw me pointing him with my hand, it thought that I wanted to hit it, and I'll prove for you the truth of my saying." And once again, he started to talk insulting about the Prophet, peace be upon him, and even he talked more disrespectful this time, and put out all his hatred against Islam and Muslims. Then the dog untied itself and jumped on the neck of the crusader, pulled out his tongue, and the cursed crusader died there and then. At that moment, there were about 40,000 of Mongols who converted to Islam without being invited to Islam by anyone. This incident was very famous among the people, and afterwards the Mongol converted to Islam in endless number. Al-Zahabi has mentioned this story in the dictionary Al-Shuyukh.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما إن الذين يؤذون الله ورسوله لعنهم الله في الدنيا والآخرة وأعد لهم عذابا مهينا والذين يؤذون المؤمنين والمؤمنات بغير ما اكتسبوا فقد احتملوا.
This is the real story. Suleiman al-Qanuni woke up terrified from what he saw in his sleep. He called one of his associate guards and said to him, "Prepare the horses. Today we will go out disguised to see the people affairs closely." It was Sultan Suleiman's custom to go out disguised among the people to help them. After that, he with his guard only went out. While passing by the corpse of a man lying on the street, that no one came near that. So the Sultan asked some people, "Whose body is this?" They said to him, "It is the corpse of a male fornicator, adulterer, and a drinker of a liquor, and he has no children or parents other than his wife, and no one from the people except to bury him." The Sultan became angry and said, "Isn't he from the people of Muhammad, peace be upon him?" The Sultan carried the body of the man and went with it to his wife. She was crying severely, and she did not know that the one who is standing in front of her is the Sultan. The Sultan wondered and said to her, "Why you are weeping? Your husband was fornicator and drinker of liquor." She replied, "My husband was ascetic worshipper of God, and we did not have children, but had a wish to have children, and because of his love for offspring and children, he used to buy the liquor, bring it to the house, and pour it into the toilet and says, 'Praise be to God that I have alleviated some sins of the Muslims' youth.' And he used to go to women who committed the immorality of fornication, and he gives them his whole day's wages, provided that they should return to their homes, and says, Praise to be God that I have alleviated some of their sins and sins of the Muslims' youth. I used to say him, people give attention to outward deeds. When you'll die, you'll not find someone to get washed you, or bury you, or pray for you. He used to laugh and says to me, Sultan Suleiman, the ministers, scholars, and all the Muslims will pray for me. The Sultan cried and said, I swear to God, I am Sultan Suleiman. And he was true. I swear to God, I will wash him and bury him by myself.
إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وأبشروا بالجنة التي كنتم توعدون نحن أولياؤكم في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة ولكم فيها ما تشتهي أنفسكم ولكم فيها ما تدعون نزلا من غفور رحيم.
And I will gather all the Muslims to pray for him. Then Sultan Suleiman al-Kanuni ordered that the whole army come to pray for him, and all Muslims come and take him buried in the cemetery of the Ottoman Sultans. And in fact, they all can. It was the greatest funeral prayer in the history. So, do not judge people by their appearance and make righteous deeds between you and God that only God knows.